Christian Pulisic and the entire USMNT are about to earn the biggest paychecks of their lives, right before the entire sports salary structure collapses beneath them. That's not a prediction. That's a math problem. And once you see the numbers, you can't unsee them. The 2026 World Cup is being hosted across 16 cities in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. That sounds like a party. It's actually a slow-motion financial disaster. Host cities are spending billions on infrastructure upgrades, stadium renovations, and security. New York alone is on the hook for over $400 million in public money. But here's the part that nobody's talking about. Most of those costs never get paid back. The economic models that cities use to justify this spending are almost always wrong, and FIFA knows it. When host nations hemorrhage cash, political backlash follows. Voters get angry. Governments start asking hard questions. And suddenly, the next country willing to write FIFA a blank check gets harder to find. Fewer desperate host nations means FIFA has less leverage at the negotiating table. And FIFA's leverage is the broadcast rights deal. That's where the real money lies. Here's the exact math. FIFA's current broadcast rights for the 2026 World Cup are valued at roughly $11 billion globally. But that number was negotiated in a different media landscape, before streaming wars peaked and cord-cutting gutted traditional TV ad revenue. By 2030, when the next rights deal gets negotiated, analysts project a 10 to 20% contraction in live sports media spend across the board. That's not opinion. That's where ad market dollars are already moving. And here's the chain reaction that changes everything. Broadcast rights drop. FIFA's total revenue shrinks. The prize money paid to national federations shrinks with it. Club transfer fees compress. And then salaries follow. Always. But that's not even the strangest part. The players that get hurt worst aren't the superstars at the very top. It's the tier right below them. The highly paid professionals who aren't quite global icons. Which brings us back to Pulisic, Giovanni Reyna, and this USMNT generation. They sit exactly in that vulnerable tier, talented, marketable, but not Mbappe. Not untouchable. The 2026 World Cup, played on home soil, in front of a massive American audience, is their absolute peak earning moment. Endorsement deals, contract renewals, transfer value. It all gets priced off what happens in the summer of 2026. Clubs know this cycle. When a player's market value peaks at a World Cup, smart clubs sell. When it crashes after they buy, the athletes themselves, they almost always sign the big deal right at the top. It's the same pattern we see in every asset bubble. The moment feels permanent. The money feels infinite. Until it doesn't. The Premier League, Serie A, and MLS are all facing the same upstream pressure. If broadcast revenue compresses league-wide, salary caps tighten, wage bills get slashed, and the average professional footballer earns significantly less by 2028 than they do today. This isn't doom and gloom for the sport itself. Soccer will survive. The elite will always be fine. But the comfortable middle class of professional athletes, the guys earning $2 to $5 million a year, that group is about to get squeezed hard. So here's what smart money does with this information. You watch 2026 very carefully. Any player who signs a long-term contract extension right after the tournament is likely locking in near peak value on both sides of that deal. The window is real, it's narrow, and for this generation of American soccer players, it may never open this wide again. Subscribe if you want to keep following the money, and tell me, which USMNT player do you think will cash in most?